good. So, what I want to talk about while we're waiting for people to get in here today, Guardian Con just broke $2.7 million. That is insane. Yeah, freaking, that's crazy. Yeah, Ninja was the last block. Ninja now has to get 2 tattoos as well. And then in addition to that, during Ninja's block a couple of hours ago, there was a 100,000 anonymous donation. Yeah, and people are thinking, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. But the thing with Ninja, like, people are like, is it Drake? And I was like, no, it can't be Drake. Like, Drake would want that publicity, right? I'm thinking it might be Epic. That seems like something Epic might do. Or it's a kid that's going to try to charge back it and then realize he's fucked whenever PayPal's like, you can't charge back charitable donations. Oh, yeah, that was Ninja. That was on Ninja's stream. Yeah. And that's why people were thinking it was Drake. But, I mean, it's the same thing with God's plan, right? He had to advertise it. He's not really in the business of not, and it's not, I'm not saying that's a greedy move it's a smart business move especially in his field. So I don't think it was I don't think it was Drake at all. But like I said, it's either a kid who's going to realize that he's fucked and get sued, or it's Epic. Epic seems like a good one. Or it might have been, like some of these streamers make, like Ninja, I think the last report I saw was like $400,000 a month. So it might have been him, and he was just like, whatever, being cool about it or something. But no audio for Jay-Z? Nope, no audio for Jay-Z. My bad. It's fixed. Thank you, Savage. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for everyone pointing out Jay-Z's muted. That is correct. I was not talking to myself. I'm not crazy.
Well, he is kind of crazy, but, we're not going to talk about that right now.
Oh, man. So I want to start off by saying I want to thank all my subs here. Jay-Z, I guess that includes you, even though, you're like a father, so it's kind of weird. But
yeah, I mean, you got to support your son.
Broke 20,000 subs this week, guys. You guys are fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's been one hell of a week. It's been a good week. And top it all off, like I said, Guardian Con's raised over $2.7 million for St. Jude, which is just amazing. Next year, I'm gonna be so far involved with that. I can't wait, man. If I'm just a part of the Guardian Con, if I'm just a streaming block, whatever I can do for Goth and Kevin and them, like, I'll be more than happy to do it. But I can't wait, because if I'm in this sort of position right now, like next year, I should be in a very good position to help out with that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited.
Just don't promise any tattoos. That might not be a good move.
Hey man, if it's helping out kids and I get a kick-ass tattoo, whatever. We'll see. It depends what it is.
Ninja... I mean, matching hearts is not going to be a kick-ass tattoo. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Freaking Ninja has to get a Fortnite llama tramp stamp now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So we'll see. What the heck are they talking about? We're talking about St. Jude, Mother Chicken. All right, so here we go. This week at Bungie. This one was written by Deej because Cosmo and Dylan, or DMG as you guys might know him, are at Guardian Con. So we get a good old Deej one, which we haven't had in a good year. So there's probably going to be lots of waxing poetic here. So if there's a lot of words, I might skip over some of them because Deej is very wordy and that type of thing. So Iron Banner's back. A lot of that stuff. Notification.
Yeah, it kind of snuck up right on us there.
Yeah, and you know what's even crazier? Faction rallies next week, and prestige raids are next week. So
I didn't think that they were gonna do faction rallies with that coming up. All right.
Yep.
So are they gonna do 4?
Nope. This is the last one. I'm guessing they're saving the back half of this season for Solstice of Heroes, and that's it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is the last one. So things about Iron Banner. Nothing's crazy about Iron Banner here, but for those of you guys who don't know, there's going to be one more Iron Banner this season, and what's really cool is the flags are going to be replaced by Iron Banner fires. So you'll have to capture zones that are fires, which is so cool. Just a small aesthetic change, just really cool. Yeah. Skarrow, get a Dinklebot tramp stamp. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I'm very excited. Oh, my gosh. Excuse me. My throat, frick me. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about here, as you guys can see, we are getting bounties back with update 1.2.3 next week. It's very, very exciting. And so, let's go ahead and read about them. So, oh, wait, excuse me. Is 1.2.3 next week? Yes, it is. It is next week. Okay.
17th?
17th, yeah. It says, when you light out in the wild in search of action and adventure, the fighting is all the sweeter when you have more ways to reap the rewards. In 1.2.3, we are expanding on that experience with new bounties for Destiny 2. Tyson Green, who some suspect is actually the Cryptarch in his spare time, has some thoughts on what we want to accomplish with this additional player experience. With the original launch of Destiny, bounties provided a set of daily objectives that players could use to advance faction reputation or earn XP to level up their gear. These were removed to streamline the activity experience in Destiny 2 and reduce the number of chores that players felt compelled to complete each day. In retrospect, we realized that this was an overcorrection and that optional daily objectives to achieve specific goals are something we want to restore. The bounties returning to Destiny 2 with 1.2.3 are a return to most of the properties of bounties in The Taken King. They will be obtained from a variety of vendors. They will generally award XP and faction reputation, though some will offer even better rewards and can be redeemed in the field to immediately reclaim your rewards. In Forsaken, you may also see some bounties drop in the wild. Oh, that sounds like exotic bounties to me.
Yep, that does.
There are 2 new mechanics. Bounties will expire if left uncompleted, and acquiring them will cost a small amount of glimmer. Why do they do that? I've never understood. Why does it cost money to buy Cade's maps? Why does it cost money here to buy bounties? That just doesn't... That seems odd. That seems very odd to me. We wanted
It never did before, did it? No. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, excellent question. No, they never did. That's one of the changes they're making. It's weird. Oh, I guess they explain here. We wanted to avoid the grab every bounty you see until your inventory is packed and sort them out later experience without constraining players to the tiny inventory they found in previous iterations of the game. Yeah, I know. I think that's a meh. Whatever. We'll see how it works. In Forsaken, more vendors will have more bounties to offer, and some will provide legendary or better rewards for completing them. So, yeah, there's going to be exotic bounties, it sounds like, with Forsaken, but they're being added in a basic form in 1.2.3. It's fair to observe that we didn't answer every question you might ask about the return of bounties. What would be the fun in that? You'll discover exactly how they work and where you can find them next week and all the weeks that will follow. So, of course, like I said, they launch next Tuesday in 5 days on the 17th, and... I'm hoping this is a way they're going to sneak in some secret stuff. That'd be really cool. You know, for instance, instead of giving us the Black Spindle in Solstice of Heroes, if there is a secret exotic bounty that you can get only by completing bounties, that would be freaking sick. So, you know, of course, that's speculation. But I think if they're going to be returning the system, especially at a point where we are now, where a lot of us have pretty much everything from the Season 3 Eververse, we don't need XP anymore. It better be a lot of faction reputation, or there better be some really cool, unique rewards, or else I have a very, very, very sneaking suspicion that players will kind of just glaze over them, at least until the Forsaken, for sure.
Well, so, like, I think they're good for players, again, that, like us, who are hardcore players that like to grind, because, like, a bounty gives you a visualization of whatever you're completing, kind of like a quest in the world does, so, I don't think they're a bad thing. I think adding them gives you another thing to farm. I don't know. Like,
yeah, it just gives you an additional thing to do. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, especially now that I've completed comp, it's like the only thing I have left to do in the game is farm the 4 Nightfall catalysts, right? So if these do provide some sort of avenue to get something else, I guess that's fine. But if it's like, you know, Zavala offers bounties, it's like, oh great, I can get more strike tokens. Like, that's not, you know, I think it's an awesome system, but if they're just adding them at a point in the game where everyone's pretty much completed everything, I can very much see how they'll be put on the back burner of many players' agendas until Season 4. So I'm hoping they add some more. I mean, even like with the prestige raids, they're adding new loot with I mean, they're adding the Sturm Catalyst. They're doing all these reworks. Like, I don't think it's a far stretch to think they'll add more probably cosmetic rewards for this. But the fact that they didn't specify so has me a little bit worried that it's going to be a very underwhelming system, at least initially, in terms of why the hell would we do these.
Well, I think they're gearing them up for the Forsaken launch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, getting initial feedback is definitely good, but I don't see how they could expect to get a bunch of feedback if you're not going to add new rewards for them, right? The only feedback that you should expect to hear is these are not rewarding enough. And that's not adequate feedback going into Forsaken because, of course, seasons are going to be changing. We're going to get a lot more stuff. And then the rewards will be good enough. So it's not... I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. We'll see. Of course, 5 days. We'll find out. It's always a lot easier to tell about these things when we get to experience them firsthand. But I guess we'll see. Mad Dog Lucas says, bounties will help me because I have nothing to do after milestones. Yeah, it's exactly like I said. Like, yeah, it's an extra avenue to do stuff, but do we want to do stuff, mindlessly? Especially, in Destiny 1, bounties were really helpful because you saved them up, and then, like, you could do, like, exotic shard farms where you got a brand new exotic, leveled it up, and dismantled it for more, or you just leveled up all your blues for additional weapon parts and that type of stuff. But in Destiny 2, there is no weapon ranking system, so we don't need the XP for our armor and our weapons, which means we just need it for ourselves. And like I said, if most of us already have everything from Eververse for Season 3, we don't really need XP anyways. So, it's one of those things that's... meh. Well, yeah, I'll have to play with it. I'm optimistic, but skeptically optimistic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Jerry says, hopefully it's more than just XP. It's cool to have secondary objectives with additional rewards. Exactly. And the additional rewards part is exactly what I'm trying to hit on for that. I absolutely agree. I don't know. Hopefully they're cool, though. Yeah. Like, I want them to be a banger, obviously. So one thing, Jay-Z, they're mentioning specifically faction reputation. Do you think that in Forsaken they're going to find some way to take the actual factions, the 3 of them, and tie them into the system, or do you think they're gonna keep with the faction rally formula that they have now?
So, I think the faction rally was an attempt for them to try something new, but I actually kind of prefer the old system as far as that goes, especially since they're going to probably be adding even more stuff to grind on, like periodically.
Exactly.
We don't really need faction rallies anymore. So
I like the week-long events. I like having events that we didn't have in Destiny 1 that give you a reason to play during that week. But when you're constrained to 1 week, it's like the factions seem very irrelevant for the other 3. Those should always matter. They're part of the main consensus of the city and the lore. They're very important figures. They shouldn't only matter once a month.
Agreed.
So maybe have like bounty systems in between, and then like the hardcore pushes once a month. But you still can earn faction reputation and stuff in between as well. Or hell, just make faction rallies like a month long, right? 3 weeks. And you can do whatever, and you can do bounties and that kind of stuff, and then a winner's week, and then it resets every time. And so you have 3 or 4 that just go through the entire thing, and have Iron Banner overlap. Right now you can't have Iron Banner and Faction Rally at the same time because they're 2 separate events. So what if the faction rallies were always available and Iron Banner could overlap, and by participating in the Crucible, you got more tokens and stuff for your faction, and you were representing that, and it was more impactful because it's a 3-week cycle instead of a 1-week cycle, and that way more casual players wouldn't feel as constrained on their time. They wouldn't feel like they were forced to do this, and it would be more meaningful for longer because you're always, throughout these 3 weeks, everything you do has an impact on this end game lore content. I think that would be really cool.
No, I agree, because we've already had a guy in our main group who couldn't participate in one of them, so he's out of Catalyst, basically. I
mean, Nanners, the guy that we've been playing comp with, missed both of them. Like, I feel so bad, because he's like, okay, I guess I'm getting the sunshot the 3rd time around. Like, that sucks. Yeah, you got to think there's a lot of people, and this is, obviously the game's being more directed towards hardcore players, but being a hardcore player and designating 30 hours a week towards a limited time event are not the same thing. You should... I like limited time events, but not something to this scale. I feel like it's the wrong way to do it, and especially with the way the Catalyst worked out. We were talking about this the other day during the raids, I think. It might have even been on stream, where factions don't feel like they have the impact they used to. It's just like, okay, the general community is going with Dead Orbit this time to get the best catalyst. The general community is going with Future War Call. And of course, everyone's predicting New Monarchy to win this next one. And they more than likely will. And it's just like, it's like a group mentality. And once again, that's not what factions are. That's not what and you know, I'm not Bungie. I can't tell them how to do their job, obviously. I don't, because I personally do not know how I would make that choice more impactful, because there's not really any identifying characters, even though, you know, it's weird that the factions, people align with the factions based more on aesthetics than like their actual ideologies, which is really strange. But it makes sense, you know, on a surface level it makes sense, but it's like Bungie needs to find a way for their actual ideologies to have an impact on the game, and I don't know how the hell they would do that, but I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most difficult things that they could, if they think of a way to do that.
I mean, because it'd have to have a real life impact on the game. Like,
yeah, well, like I said, with this faction rally, with this set of faction rallies, they added a catalyst. So, of course, Graviton's going to win first. I mean, everybody knew that. Yeah. I mean, you're pretty dumb if you don't like it, because that's the number one right now.
Called out, chat! Called out!
And then, like, Sunshot is more popular than the, you know, the Sweet Business. So, you know, that's going to win second. So you kind of knew which ones are going to win this time around. But
exactly. And once again, that doesn't, you know, that's players aligning based on power. And then, you know, obviously in the first 2 seasons, it was based on aesthetics. But that's not what matters about factions. It's their ideologies. And I don't know how they would tie that in at all, because there is no real life consequence. But it's something that it would be really interesting to tie it into. Like, look at other games and see what they do. I don't, like, I played For Honor for a bit. I know they have the Ninja versus Viking versus Knight system. I don't think that had any impact either. It's just like, there's got to be a game out there that's done the kind of faction system really well. I think Bungie should be looking out and seeing how to make the ideologies matter a little bit more. And then expand it, and circling back all the way around, add bounties to that, so they're more of a permanent fixture. I think that'd be really cool. Jerry says, if there were certain buffs associated with your faction, that'd be cool. So, like, say, once you level it up so much, you get a small buff, and all factions would be different. That'd be pretty cool. Just something small, though. Like, running around patrol, you can move faster or something. Yeah. That'd be cool. And, yes, Faction Rally is still on Tuesday for sure. On the 17th with 1, 2, 3, and with the Prestige raids. All right, the next one's just talking about Guardian Con. They're going to be doing a stream of Gambit for a giant tournament hosted by, oh, I'm going to get this wrong, Mtashed and someone else. Who's co-hosting it with Mtashed? Blessius, maybe? I feel like that's wrong, but it might be Blessius. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be watching that because I want to see as much. Oh, that's tomorrow, by the way, at 6 o'clock Eastern. I want to be seeing as much Gambit as I can. Excuse me. Very, very exciting. Breaking news. So once again, we talked about this last week. Keep up with everything that Game Informer's doing. We got to look at all the supers, which is something I want to talk about. Last week I mentioned how I was disappointed in the Voidwalker super because it was still a one-time use. I have been proven very, very wrong, which I'm ecstatic about. Thank God. Yeah, it is multiple use. So with the Voidwalker, you can blink around, and then you can hold the LB or the RB button or the trigger. It's one of the buttons. And to charge up, and the longer you charge, the larger the area of effect, but the more super energy it uses. So if you can teleport, bam, 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 and just tap the trigger, and it's smaller explosions, but you can use it many times. Very, very cool. Everything's pretty much exactly the way that we thought it was. The fire knives for Hunter is really weird, because the way it works, the game automatically sees how many enemies are in your field of view and splits up your knives of your super automatically based on that. So if there's one enemy, you'll throw all of your knives at it, do massive damage. But if you have like 5, it'll split up and you'll kill all 5. So it's like a weird area of effect super, but it's like targeted. It's really cool. It'll be interesting to see if there, you know, say like there's a raid boss here or a strike boss, and you obviously want all of your damage to go to him. If there's enemies around him, how specific is the targeting system?
Well, I wonder if it's an auto hit too, like, or if they can dodge it, like in PvP.
Oh, that's a really good question as well. It seems really fast. I don't think there's any dodging it, but that's a
yeah.
that's a
But
really
there's got to be a way to dodge it. Like, I don't know, because most supers you have the ability to do some kind of maneuver to get out of the way, whether jumping straight up in the air or, you know, I don't know. It'd be cool if you.
I agree. That's actually a. There's got to be some way. Yeah, it can't be like a Nisha from
Yeah, because
Borderlands
if you see
pre-sequel.
a team of 6 and then just like throw your super and then it kills all 6 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's fast though. It's really fast. That's another thing. Is one knife going to be one kill, or is it just going to do a little bit of damage? That's a really good one. Keller Mermaid actually has a really good one. Pledging to factions multiple times in the season should give better rewards. Rather than switching between, staying loyal gets you better and improved rewards. That's actually a really cool idea. That would.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, well, I mean, if there's really a faction that, like, say they have different tiers of weapons, like as the better rewards, I'm using air quotes, and you really like, say, New Monarchy's 2nd tier, then you can pledge to them twice during the season.
That gives it meaning right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. That would work very well. Once it doesn't tie in with the ideologies, but it really makes your decision feel a lot more important rather than we're going this one, then this one, then this one. I like that a lot. That is a fantastic change. Skarrow's dad for president. Jay-Z? Meh.
Oh.
When do bounties launch? Next Tuesday? A very regular form of them. So they also added flashpoints. Really cool. They're going to function differently. So it's essentially the same thing, but completing patrols in lost sectors now add to that. It's very interesting. There are also outlaws, which are things that you can go to the fallen warlord that we've seen. That will be the kind of destination NPC that we talked to for the Tangled Shore. And I think his name is the Spider or something. Something like that. And when you talk to him, he'll give outlaw bounties, very similar to how Varix gave the House of Wolves tracking bounties, or maybe that was Petra. Actually, I think it was Petra. And you had to go kill this specific House of Wolves figures. So they're going to be doing that with outlaws for people who escaped from the Prison of Elders, and they're going to be very difficult. And some of those will correlate to heroic versions of lost sectors, which is really cool because some of them will be hidden there. There's one per destination. And you will have to go in there. It's going to be a harder version. And they said they're more puzzle intensive. So like in the one they played, there were power generators all over it that were kind of hidden, and you had to destroy them to disable walls. But there was no prompt to do that. You had to figure that out yourself. So that's really cool. They seem like they're going to be kind of like soloable strike raid things, but not quite as difficult, but still very difficult, and give a lot of rewards and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And the Silent Fang is back. Yes, Keller Mermaid. They're going to be one of the ones, which is interesting because I killed them like 100 times for XP in Destiny 1. So I don't know how the hell they're still back. The Lost Sectors in Tangled Shore, they seem a lot bigger. They seem really cool. Can't really say anything else there. And the Cerberus +1 still is weird as hell, and I don't think it'll be that effective, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's very interesting. I have no idea. Yeah, his name is the Spider. I thought it was. All right, coming attractions. Update 1.2.3 will be deployed on Tuesday the 17th, next Tuesday, like we said. Miscellaneous quality of life changes. PC clan chat is added. The Mercury Forge weapons, once you have attained them all, you can buy them for direct purchase from Brother Vance, so that's pretty cool. But like I mentioned in my video, that's kind of going to be rendered obsolete in like a month and a half, because with Forsaken we get collections, so that won't matter. So that's kind of weird. Momentum will no longer be in Heroic Adventures, which is also very strange because that wasn't the worst modifier in the world. Pursuits inventory bucket has been moved to the top of the inventory categories. That's interesting. Where's Pursuits now? Oh, yeah, because it's the 4th one now. And you have to scroll the way down. So that's interesting. I guess that means that they're planning on using it a lot more. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Comments have been added to large numbers as separators in the in-game report and the post-game report. That's awesome. Anything to be a little bit more grammatically correct, and just makes it easier to read. It's something you don't think about, but when you're doing when I'm doing like damage comparisons and you record it and you're like looking back, it's really hard to separate the numbers sometimes. Yeah, I'm always like, is that like 7,000 or is that two 700s overlaying each other. You can't really tell. So this will actually help a lot. That's a small change, but that's really cool. Momentum gone from Heroic Strikes is good. No, not Heroic Strikes, Heroic Adventures. I believe they do talk about stuff gone from Heroic Strikes right down here, so we'll get to that in a second. Exotic armor fixes. Fixed an issue that was causing targets marked by the Sanguine Alchemy to produce orbs when defeated. Oh, I didn't know that was an issue. That sounds awesome. Fixed an issue that caused Starfire Protocol not to work with the Dawnblade's Attunement of Sky ability path. That's very interesting. And fixed an issue that prevented Warlock melee attack damage when using Ophidian Aspects exotics and the Hive Swords or Orb carry objects. Interesting. Additionally, some of the Heroic Strike modifiers have been given slight adjustments in response to player feedback. Here is Drew Martino. I butchered your name. I apologize, Drew. You seem like a great guy. And he's going to answer some of the changes. So, ultimately, we want your power stats and armor modifications to matter, and we realized that our debuff modifiers were a little bit too powerful to allow players to see their impact. Here's what you can expect. So it's the 3 most annoying modifiers, Blackout, Grounded, and Glass they're changing. So Blackout says, we wanted to ensure that enemy melees were threatening, but this should not dismiss a player's power progression or the stats they choose to invest in with their armor. As such, this modifier is changing somewhat. It still increases enemy melee damage significantly, but it no longer guarantees the player being defeated by a single melee from many enemies. Be careful though, if you're not the recommended power for the Heroic Strike playlist, your enemies will be more powerful and pack a harder punch. So it's the same thing, it's just not as crazy anymore. Silver Jacket, thanks for the sub, man. Grounded, there are many times players are considered airborne when they're not actually jumping. To account for that, we reduce the damage threshold so players aren't punished for things outside of their control. Additionally, we're looking to prevent players from falling to their demise from a height of 2 meters just as they happen to land on a rock or some other small object. Salute to you, Bungie. Glass, this modifier reduces a Guardian Shields and health while increasing recovery. We slightly reduce the impact of this modifier to better enable players to see the effects of their overall power progression over time. Meh, those are more than underwhelming in my opinion. I think a lot of them should have been removed, especially like, I think if you're going for very tough strikes, it should be Nightfalls. It seems a little bit backwards to me that Prestige Nightfalls are now the easiest strike activities in the game, where Heroic Strikes are challenging. I think that should be switched. Heroic Strikes should always be fun, promote power, always positive things, and then the Nightfall should be where they really stick these modifiers. At least in my opinion, I think that makes a lot more sense.
I agree. Nightfall is supposed to be the hardest, other than Prestige Raids, it's supposed to be the hardest, second hardest activity in the game. So, yeah, make that difficult, because it's way too easy to just farm Nightfalls with the
raid. Yeah. Like there's no reason for us to complete the average completion time of a Prestige Nightfall to be 7 minutes, but the average completion of a Heroic Strike to be 13 minutes. Like that should definitely be changed. I don't know how they could, do that. Obviously, with Prestige Nightfalls, you get to pick your modifiers and that type of stuff. But Heroic Strikes used to be fun activities where you went and you kicked ass and you just felt really powerful. And these 3 modifiers right here are ruining that. We need these removed. We make them, rotate on the regular Nightfall or something. They should not be in Heroic Strikes. I'm going to stand by that one for pretty much forever. Heroic Strikes should be a lot of fun, especially because all the high-end loot drops from Nightfalls. You get a higher strike catalyst chance from Nightfalls, yet they're faster to run. It doesn't make any sense. So, make them optional challenges, make them, maybe mandatory challenges from regular Nightfalls, but I just don't think they belong in Heroic Strikes. That doesn't make any sense to me. So the next thing, they're also talking about, it looks like redoing the Prismatic Matrix a little bit, or that's what the Matrix Reloaded title says to me. It could just be a cheeky pun at the movie. But they say, over the past few months, we've been testing a new feature called the Prismatic Matrix. When we first announced this new reward system, we stated our goals were to give the player more control over how they earn Eververse items, offer a more predictable path each week that guarantees access to specific items, and drop fewer duplicate items. Now, one thing I will say before going on is that, oh, thank you, Sai. Thank you, man. Freaking, I haven't heard that notification in a long time. Freaking X-Files. Sorry, he donated 777, and that's the X-Files theme over a Bungie triangle. That's the Illuminati. Sorry, it threw me off. Anyways, so one thing I mentioned to you earlier, I think off stream, Jay-Z, like while we were raiding or something, is like this season is significantly easier to get rewards from. Do you feel that too, right?
Oh yeah, I've pretty much got everything within the first like less than a month, I think.
Yeah.
Like there's no nodes in my prismatic matrices at all for the last like 3 weeks that I can get anything.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah, and like Ritul was like, "Why is Turtles got 3 prismatic matrices?" And I was like, "Dude, you can't. What are you gonna buy with them? Like, there's nothing." Yeah. We should at least be able to dismantle them for Bright Dust or something. I love this system, but it's weird thinking that we're only halfway through the system, and or through the season, and this system has already changed it so drastically that we already have everything. That's very, very strange. So, I don't know. I guess we're seeing what they do. This week, the user interface calls specific attention to the limited time of the feature. To explain our previous objectives and future plans, here are some thoughts from the design team. The original intent of the Prismatic Matrix was to be used for a special event, something to help players round out their collections as the odds of earning items that were eluding them improved as they continued to earn bright engrams. We've had a limited number of weeks scheduled designed to keep the repetition to a minimum. That schedule of curated offerings is coming to an end, so the feature is going to be on a temporary hiatus starting next week. Oh, that's really interesting. Thanks to some good feedback about this new feature, we've learned how we can make it better, so we will continue to support it in Forsaken. We look forward to your continued feedback and are excited to relaunch the Prismatic Matrix in the next season of Destiny 2. That's it. They're just removing it? That's okay. That's so weird. They're like,
so they've got to give you rewards for things in your inventory. Then they've got to do something.
Yeah, they have to. That's so odd.
Because I remember when they dropped Taken King, not Taken King. Yeah, Taken King. Like a lot of the old currencies. That they had
the Vanguard and Crucible marks. You got stuff for them.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll do something like that, like Bright Dust or Eververse.
Well, I mean, Eververse is staying, just not the Prismatic Matrix.
Well, I mean, just Eververse, like XP, I guess, for that character. I don't know.
That's so weird. Like they're like, we did what we wanted. We're getting rid of it. That's odd. They just
everybody got everything in 2 weeks. It's all good. We're taking it out.
I don't know why they wouldn't just randomize the system or something.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Okay, what an odd freaking change. What does chat think about that? That's so... I find that one of the weirdest things Bungie has ever done. I don't know. Okay, whatever. That happened. So the next thing, it looks like, is just Moments of Triumph. So that's actually something I did want to talk about, so I'll pull them up, Jay-Z, because we didn't cover that last week, right? Because they were launched on 7/7, which was Sunday, I think. Yep. So I'm gonna pull up my profile, my Moments of Triumph, and I just want to know. So you've checked out yours, I'm guessing, right?
I think I saw. I haven't, but I heard what most of them are. So
okay, but you're gonna be max score. Totally, you have to be. So there, you have the base, complete the campaigns. That's pretty general. I wouldn't expect anything less on there. Complete all the memories on Mars. Get all of them. That makes sense. Sagira's Ghost Shell. That one actually surprised me a lot because that's a very long grind. Oh wait, you still need Sagira's Ghost Shell, don't you?
Yeah, I'm about halfway there now.
I would keep an eye on that. You got a little bit, but you can start getting the rewards on the 31st. So you got a little bit of time for that. You can easily knock that out in 2 weeks though. Especially with like Iron Banner and public events, it'll be fine. Obtain 25 exotic weapons or armor. That's a simple one. Reach Vanguard rank 50 in Season 3. That's a very weird one. Just because that's the only season-specific thing that they threw on the list. It's very weird. It's very weird. I don't really know about that. There's one that says will be revealed later this summer. We know now that is complete 25 heroic public events within the Solstice of Heroes event, which my main thing with that is like, I've done 400 heroic public events. Why can't those count? It's very odd, especially with, the faction rally ornaments being very heavily centered around public events that they're making us redo them, but okay. Collect all region chests. That one makes a lot of sense. Complete 20 adventures. I'm not sure how many adventures are in the game, but I feel like it's more than 20. So I don't know why they wouldn't just have you complete all of them, but I could be... Actually, I can check them right now. View adventures. There are 37 adventures in the game. Why only 20? This is a moment of triumph. They should require you to complete all of them, in my opinion. That's very, very odd. I will smash you, defeat 100 opponents. This is another one. Defeat 100 opponents in the Crucible. That takes an hour. That's such a weird, like, why not, like, 1,000 or something? Do you not find this weird? I find it kind of weird.
I think they're making them obtainable by a larger group.
Wait, it's just so weird. Past. It's just so weird because you have complete Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars as one, completing both of them as one, and then defeat 100 people in the Crucible as one. Like, those are not even achievements. Like, those are very, very different levels of difficulty. And I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. That might be kind of... And then, like, right here, complete Tier 7 and Escalation Protocol. Like, that makes sense. That's a good one. But it's weird that they're throwing that on the same list. Like, I feel like different people designed this, and they were going for different difficulties.
Well, it seems like they made some easy ones and then some, like, hard ones, but... like, the hard ones are really hard, and then...
And the easy ones are really easy.
Yeah. Like,
100
Crucible opponents is, like, a couple hours for some people, you know?
Yeah. It's just weird. It's odd. I find it really weird. Defeat Callus, that's a really easy one. Reach Fabled in Valor ranking Season 3. It took me 4.5 hours to go from Prestige Rank 1 to Prestige Rank 2 with the triple Valor. It was so easy. And that's running solo. So that one's not that bad at all. I'm sure they'll do another Valor event or something. And then we have 5 that are secret pertaining to Solstice of Heroes. I'm guessing there are 2 50-point ones. I can't help but guess one of them is Prestige Eater. One of them is Prestige Spire. It makes a lot of sense to me. I have no idea what the other ones would be. Now, the rewards you get are really cool, except, once again, I find the order very odd. At 225 points, you get... No, excuse me, at 200... At some amount of points. I don't have it right in front of me. You get the Ghost, which looks very, very nice. It is one of the nicest ghost shells in Destiny history. Let me see if I can actually get a better picture for you guys. Leo Defoe, thank you for the sub. Let's go to... They unveiled it here, right? Where is the... Live events, maybe? Where is... I swear it was here. Oh, Moments of Triumph. It's right here. Okay. So, you've seen the ghost shell, right, Jay-Z?
Yeah. Like a quick picture. I think you posted it on your Twitter.
Oh, I might have. Yeah, I probably did. Just gorgeous. Just the best ghost shell in Destiny 2. Very ornate. Just beautiful.
Let's hope it comes with some good perks, because, like, there's a couple ghost shells I wanted to keep, but they had terrible perks, and I'm just like, okay, well, and I got rid of it.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have, but
that's a good point. I didn't think about it. That's oh, well, it's a legendary ghost. It probably won't have perks.
So it just looks like it looks like what you would think a Callus ghost shell would look like.
Yeah, exactly. All of this is very Callus featured, and so a really big theory going on here is people think the Callus storyline is not going to progress into Forsaken. It is, in fact, going to be wrapped up, at least temporarily, in some way with Solstice of Heroes, and that he's going to be a big driver behind it, which is very interesting. I had never thought about that before, but because they are pushing this color scheme so hard, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Now, this is where I find it very, very weird. The second reward is the code for the Moments of Triumph t-shirt. In past years, if I'm not mistaken, the Moments of Triumph t-shirt has required you to complete 90%, if not all of the triumphs. I believe it's 90% in Age of Triumph, wherever things were, locked beyond time. It was like complete the campaign in these months or whatever, and that made sense. But if I'm not mistaken, especially the very first Moment of Triumph, you had to complete all of them to get the t-shirt. I could be wrong on that. It could be like
I think it was like 75%, if I remember.
Yeah, okay. But right here they have it at roughly guessing, it looks like 66%. A lot of people are going to be getting this, which I don't have a problem with. It just seems like they're pushing the game more hardcore, but they're being okay.
Well, I think they're making what they can accessible, and then giving us hardcore people like the real meat and potatoes stuff like that. That's just an event. So like,
Right.
yeah, it's cool to be one of the limited people that have completed all the triumphs, but it's not the end of the world. Like I'd rather have what they're doing for us than than making this more difficult.
Right. And it's just the thing that I find weird. I'm fine with that where it is, but they're making this exclusive Sparrow, which you get at about 75%, harder to get than a physical life shirt, which seems very odd to me. Don't get me wrong, this Sparrow is beautiful. Once again, the prettiest Sparrow in the game. Very nice looking. Oh, it's actually right here. 125 for the shell, 250 out of 400. So around 66%, give or take, for the t-shirt. 300 points for the Sparrow, so 75% exactly. And then when you get all of them, you get the emblem upgrade in-game. I just feel like all of them should be the shirt. It feels very odd for me. It feels very,
well, plus the shirt, and Bungie's making a little bit of kickback on that too. So like you would think that they would push that more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very odd. Taz Scott, is the shirt customizable? Yes, for $5 additional, you can get your gamer tag on the shoulder. And they actually show it right here. Oh, wait, do they not show it right here? I swore they showed it. Whatever. Yeah, it's right up above this thing. You can get your gamer tag. So pretty cool. This is by far the coolest looking Moments of Triumph shirt they've done yet. Freaking beautiful. I love this color scheme. And then we get a kind of a look here at the armor sets, and let me see if I can actually find the actual picture that someone found on Reddit. It's actually like if you go into the mobile app, it shows you a better look at the armor sets, and I'm gonna see if I can find that. Oh, I actually don't know if I have that picture anymore. That's unfortunate. Looks very, very nice though. Maybe it's in downloads actually, now that I think about it. Maybe not. I really thought I had it. All right, now I'm gonna have to Google Solstice of Heroes armor sets. Give me a picture. No! Why would you not give me a picture, Reddit? What are you doing? Here we go. Is this it? Here we go, guys. So here you can see it on stream. It is a mixture of the very first armor sets you get in Destiny 1 and the Callus gear. It is beautiful. And so this is why I think Callus is going to be very heavily focused in this event. I don't know how they'll do it. I don't know how they'll justify it. I don't know what that'll be centered around. But these armor sets are amazing, and they feature that chroma glow. Is that chroma glow going to be from completing all of the triumphs? Is that going to be dependent based on your subclass you're using? There's a lot of stuff we don't know about that, but it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that looks better than the Leviathan.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. And the thing that's really interesting, the Titan has orange, Warlock has blue, Hunter has purple. So it's either going to be class dependent, which wouldn't make any sense to me, or it's going to be based on which subclass you're running, that'd be awesome too. That would be so
except you couldn't run that in Crucible because they'd know right away.
Well, I guess it shows you up at the top of the screen anyways.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah, but that's so cool. That is just an amazing armor set. I can't wait. I mean, that is going to be my go-to armor set for the rest of Destiny. Probably, I'm sure, actually, the Dreaming City has an amazing armor set, but we'll see. That is so cool. That is just... I can't wait to get those. I can't wait to see. We don't know how you earn them yet. We're not really sure. Nothing's been said. But I'm pretty excited.
That is going to be a grind-tastic event.
Yes, I'm really excited for that. And one thing that makes me really excited is we only have 225 out of 400 points, so just over half. Generally, with the Age of Triumph, it's like, oh, I'm done already. Like, I haven't even started just because of the type of players we are.
Mm-hmm.
And now, it's like, nah, we actually get to play some of this event. Yeah! You know, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Well, I'm guessing like the armor sets will be grinded out. Other things will be grinded out on there. Because they'll probably have some special drops or a vendor that drops special things.
Right. So. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Why did they do away with Chroma? I think because they wanted to focus more on the ornament side of things. You know, Chroma is traditionally now in Destiny 2. The Flawless Trials gear gets it. The Prestige Raids get it. I don't know. You know, it's just I'm not necessarily. I would rather Chroma's not in the game. It was a cool system, but it was more of kind of like a gimme system. It didn't feel really fleshed out. They could do it all right. I think I'm interested to see how they do it here. I think this will be really good. When will the event be live? Solstice of Heroes goes live on July 31st. Pretty excited for that. Oh man, that day we're gonna be hitting it, Jay-Z. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is there to talk about? I think that's pretty much everything. They all have 3 dots. I don't know what you're talking about. T-shirt is going to be $25 with code. Yes, it's $24.99 with when you get the code, and then $29.99 if you get the customizable gamer tag. Just good luck, guys. I see a lot of people saying, you know, you're having trouble with the raids. LFG, I have completed, I don't want to say a significant portion, but many raids on LFG, even with my raid team. You know, sometimes people aren't available. Go to LFG. It's not that hard. You find a good team.
We've actually got 3 or 4 people from LFG
in our clan from LFG. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, like, even if you don't have a clan now, like if you are a good teammate and stuff like that, like there will be clans out there that'll invite you, and then you'll have playing people to play with.
Yeah, I agree with that. The best way, I mean, I found my clan on LFG. Like, that's the only reason I'm in it, is because of LFG. It's an amazing source. Use it. The 100.io. Amazing Sherpas there. Destiny LFG. Hell, even the Find Fire Team Legacy thing here. This works perfectly. Just, you gotta reach out. You can't just say you don't have people to play with. You gotta actively look for people to play with. It's very important. Okay, there's something else I want to say. Oh, so someone said good job with the... Yes, I said good job with the loadout raids the other day. I'm so excited for that. Because we had the worst possible combination, right? And we did so well. So, yeah. How hard do you think Spire's going to be? Do you think it's going to be tougher?
Not at all. Not at all. No, because, like, we had a sword, which we couldn't hit him with. we had SMG secondary, which is, like, your distance secondary. I guess and then we had the primary as a scout rifle.
Yeah, scout rifle. And we already know our kinetic is a pulse rifle. So we are already in better stance on Tuesday than we were this Tuesday. So
yeah, but they're not going to go SMG sword, so there's no way we're going to not be able to do that, like, right off the bat.
They did say the first week was more easy. They wanted to really emphasize doing this on a weekly basis, which we will. Absolutely. I'm very excited for it. I'm very, very excited for it.
Yeah, literally any other power weapon other than a sword is going to do infinitely more damage.
Because the other day I was thinking, oh gosh, like, what if we have to use fusion rifles? And I was like, wait a second, Sleeper Simulant is a fusion rifle. Yeah. Like, what if we have to use shotguns? Oh wait, the most overpowered weapon in the history of Destiny is a shotgun. Like, yeah, you know.
Even grenade launchers, like, you can at least hit from a distance. So
yeah, grenade launchers would be kind of rough, but you're right. That's second to swords, but you can still use them. You know, they don't have damage fall off, that type of stuff. So there's all sorts of that type of thing. But yeah, all in all, this is just a great update. I'm a little bit confused about the prismatic matrix. Actually, I'm a lot of bit confused about that. And a little bit worried about the bounty system. I'm sure it'll turn out fine.
Extra XP is never a bad thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. That's true. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. We've answered all your questions. It seems like a lot of you guys are trying to get raids together. Great job, guys. That's one awesome thing. Any of the comment sections of my videos, outsourced like that. It's brilliant. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much the entire stream. Next Tuesday is going to be a good day. So you guys better be ready to grind. I know our team is. I'm so excited. But yeah, so as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out. You guys are freaking awesome. always coming out, discussing with us. That's, of course, the entire point of this. I love that. And Scarrow, read my comment. I just read your comment. I can't. Instead of saying read my comment, put your comment again. It's so hard, guys. You can see where
how about a thought-provoking comment?
Scarrow, I think some of the triumphs may be revealed next week. Maybe. I mean, we never know. We never know. Please shave. Blow yourself. Okay. It's a little tip for you guys out there. Saying please shave in every video just makes me never want to shave again. So fuck yourself. Not really. You're fine. I get it. Okay. But what's this matter? It looks good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Whatever.
As long as you like it, buddy. As long as you like it.
I think it's a little bit patchy, but that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to get it. It's all right. I like it. Oh, got me all riled up about my freaking beard, man. Nah.
Oh, that's a beard. Oh.
I'm only 20 years old, guys. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It'll grow in. But no, I have no intentions on shaving. You know, I upkeep it. You know, I upkeep it. I shave my mustache because I think I look. Pretty much everyone that grows a mustache like that doesn't look great. You know, but I'm liking it. I'm just seeing what I can do. Looks like a starter. Is it really that bad? Nah. Anyways. Thank you guys for coming out, having fun, discussing new subs. Thank you, Sai. Thank you for the 777. I forgot I had that. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, man, pretty good.
Yeah.
If you want to keep up with when we do these, Skarrow9 on Twitter. Just broke 20,000 subs on YouTube, so hang out if you're new. Jay-Z, do your thing, man.
Jay-Z Basketball 25 on the Twitters.
Woot, woot, woot. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on with Guardian Con. Gonna be crazy. Remember, they're streaming Gambit tomorrow. It's gonna be pretty fun. Definitely gonna be watching that. I'll tweet out about it if I see anything interesting. Next Tuesday is gonna be awesome. I also just hit maximum competitive rank, 5,500. So hopefully I can stay up late enough tonight to grind out the Mida Catalyst and get you guys a video tomorrow sometime. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, Scarrow, will you stream the new raid when it comes out? Hell yeah, we always do world's first races. You bet your ass we will.
Yeah?
Yeah, you bet your fate. We have so many, like, and now that we have a consistent raid team, it's like, everyone's like, yeah, we'll ask off, why not? We got Josh too, who swore he wouldn't do it. So, yeah, man, we're going to be doing world's first again. Especially if it's going to be the largest raid of all time. You bet your face we are. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's all I got. Go eat some nachos or something, guys. That's
nachos, really? Nachos. Out of all the things.
What's wrong with that? What do you want me to say?
Well, first off, like, you burnt your tongue and we're complaining about it. It was
my okay, man. I can handle heat in my mouth, but my ear hurt. That's when you know it's wrong. Something's going on. I'm dying. Whew, I like mumbling. This is fun. Just like, yeah. I know I should end the stream, but it's like, I don't want to. I'm having fun.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out.
Yeah, Jay-Z's like, Scarrow, that's enough. We need to end this.
Before you ruin your reputation, you know, I'm trying to save you.
Oh, man. All right, guys. You guys all have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.